Eric and Jim from Mountain Forge Hunting. This is day 6 of our 2023 Montana No Camp Days trip, and excited to bring you this one. This is my buck down day. This is what we grind through all week. This is excited to bring you this episode after dragging this series out 8 parts and all. So, but this was a perfect day of hunting in Montana, and we're glad to share it with you, take you along for this adventure. We started the day with just some nasty wind, and we'll show you that, and grind out all day long and put down a good buck. So I will share that just like anything, things happen, and we have some video technical difficulties this day, so we'll explain more about that in a little bit.
All right, guys.
Hey, good morning. Day 6. Not a camp day for me. I am at camp, but as you might remember, I've had some meat on the meat pole for a few days, so it's cased up good. Today's the coolest day we're gonna get this whole time here, so cutting meat in the cool, nice crisp air here.
Just about a mile and a half in on our hike. We had to drop down off the side of the ridge because we were about getting blown off of it. So we're gonna be hiking up over that, and then cresting down off to the right into some pockets that we know about. So excited. I think this weather feels a whole lot more like mule deer hunt weather than we've been experiencing the last few days. So hopefully this helps kick the rut in. Here, nothing special on 2-point. Just with it down. Maybe if she's hot, put another buck in the area.
All right, well, welcome back. I've got done with all of the front shoulders and about half the neck, so I've got the neck some rib meat and some back strap that I'm going to be working on next. And then I'll be moving on to the rear quarters, getting some nice steaks out of those. Taking most of the neck meat for burger, front shoulders, burger meat, but I did take some of the more prime stuff I'd normally steak out of there, doing some jerky strips this year.
All right, guys, we were just working up this ridgeline to drop down and look on another buck, and I spotted this buck over here behind us down in this gut. 1,400 yards away. I could tell with my binos he was a good-sized buck. I could just see branched antlers. Jim was just getting the spotter out and trying to get on him when he tipped into a fold. So I'm pretty sure he's a shooter buck for today, but I think he's a shooter buck any day. We're gonna try to we're just gonna try to close some distance and get over on the opposite side of the gut from him and see if we can't close a bit before we can get eyes on him again.
Well, down to 2 hams and then I'm done cutting. But I'm gonna get back to work. As you can tell, the sun, it's kind of almost below the horizon out there. Another hour and a half or so should be getting near sundown. I am slow at cutting meat, so hopefully Jim and Eric are up there on the hill working their butts off, dragging something back up the hill, packing it back up to the truck. Fully expecting to see a big buck coming home today.
Okay, guys, we got into range and couldn't initially tell where he was at because we had just lost sight of him when we decided to cross over here. Jim and I split up. I went down onto a knob where I could get kind of vantage and shoot lane up that spot, and he went up the ridge further to try to get a different angle on it. I just got a glimpse of this guy. He's rutting a doe right now, chasing her around. He's a shooter buck for sure. But we lost sight of him. He's pushing her hard right now, running around. And so I don't know if he's gonna come back out. It's a lot of timber, so I got a small little pocket where I need him to expose himself again. So we're just gonna sit here and hopefully he chases her back out there sometime. But when they're running like that, chasing him around, a lot of times those does will run a little bit and bed down, and then it's like wait game. Hopefully they push back this way. So crossing my fingers right now. Lots of highs, lots of lows right now is going on. So real nervous, but check in a bit. Do you see him? He's starting to walk to the right, coming downhill. He's out in the sun right now. Hold on. Okay, I'm on him.
All right, so timeout, intermission time, guys. We're going to fill you in on a few of the events that those technical difficulties we had with the video. And to start off with, we jump out of the truck in the morning and it is so nasty that we just keep thinking, let's get up on the hill. And so we don't give you quite the introduction to day 6 that we were hoping for. And then we started chasing the bucks around all day long. It was hard to give updates like we wanted to. And sure enough, Murphy's Law kicked in, and the post kill shot video where we just ended took this intermission, one of those forget to hit record opportunities. And so we just want to take a moment to fill you in on what led up to that kill shot. So
yeah, it's Murphy's Law, right? This is a video we really wanted. You know, we knew it was the hunt coming together. I know I fat fingered. I didn't record our debrief after Eric took the shot. And also, looking back, there's a trend for me. The worse the weather is, the less I film. And I don't know if that's because I don't want to get my hands out, get the equipment out or what, but the weather was brutal the first half of this day. And so I'll take ownership on that, but I did get the kill shot, so that's what counts.
It was a close one. It was
close.
Touchy. So
yeah.
We were chasing this buck around, a really just dandy buck, and I still have strong regrets of not holding out for the big one that was in there, because there was I just got a close glimpse of him, and he was a big, wide, he was a big mature buck. And as we're sitting there watching for this one, you know, we're sitting there, we post up, and another buck comes running down the hill, and I almost shot that thing, and you saw that one on video, and it trotted off. I was just trying to get my gun up on it, and I needed to double check the range, and I wasn't sure if it was a buck we were looking for or not, but day 6 I almost took the shot on him, and didn't take that shot. A few minutes later, me and Jim hooked back up. We're sitting there, we're game planning, we get in a good position that we can take a shot on the shooter buck that I had seen if he came back out. And sure enough, we're sitting there, and all of a sudden the buck I ended up shooting comes trotting down the hill straight across from us, and just catches us off guard. And at that point of the day, that point of the week, it looked like a mature buck, and we were in there so deep, I just didn't feel like I could pass it up. And not totally excited about the shot I took on it. It was this combination of trying to make sure we captured it on film, and you know, as I get set up, Jim yells at me to wait. He's got to refocus, and it's starting to trot up the hill a little bit. But you know, beat myself up a little bit on that one, but ultimately he didn't go more than 15 yards and was done. So
didn't go 20. We've learned that when you find a hot doe like what we had, just sit with that doe, even if it's just a 2-point with that doe or something. If you find a buck that's locked down with a hot doe, she's been walking around all night, all day. She's leaving her scent trail, and she's going to bring multiple bucks. And we see that time and time again. And this is a good example where 3 decent bucks were trying to court this one doe, you know. So a takeaway for me is if you find a little dinker crab claw 2-point with a hot doe, that doesn't mean a big one's not right there.
Yeah. All right, guys, stay tuned for the rest of this episode.
Well, one last check-in. It's almost dark, but I'm almost done. So, got some frozen hands. I've been outside all day. Nothing like Jim and Eric have, though. Haven't heard back from them yet. This is usually about the point where we're walking out to make sure we're not walking out too far by a headlamp, but it's getting close, so they might push it all the way to the end. I've got some camp duties tonight. I got to get the skillet out and the griddle out, and we're going to have some breakfast tonight. So, long day for those guys. Going to make sure they've got a good meal when they get back.
Okay, probably about maybe 100 yards from Eric's deer, I think. I lost him in the phone scope. I tried to zoom out and it went black. He ran down in the straw and we lost him. So it's always one of my favorite parts. Anticipating putting your hands on them. A lot of hard work. Should be right down in this gut. Here's Eric walking up on his buck.
He's got a weird funky eye guard.
Heavy buck. We knew he wasn't super wide, but he was heavy. He's got a split brow, which is pretty rare, I think. Big old gnarly buck.
Angry guy.
Boy, it's a pretty big boy, isn't he?
It's good day 6 buck.
Heavy buck.
Yeah, probably the heavier, thicker horn one I've killed over here.
Yeah, he might be regressing a little. He's real heavy.
The basis.
He didn't go anywhere.
That's interesting.
Gravity kind of took him. He's got some character. I know Eric likes that. Who doesn't?
Definitely character.
That eye guard's super cool. Sweet. Well, I'm gonna have to drag him out of there for some pictures, I think, and then make a game plan. So, what do you think, Eric?
It's day 6 buck.
Yeah, it's a good buck.
It's a good hunt, is what it was.
Yeah, it was. All day we were in it. Suffered this morning with the windstorm and the snow flurries, and did what we do, built a fire, slowed things down. Kind of let the bucks come to us. It's that time of year. So awesome. Grateful for every single one we get. And on top of that, look at that sucker. Those were his sheds from last year. All right, let's get to work. Well, what do you think?
I think it's a long ways out of here.
Long ways out of here. Eric just looked at his on X and we're 5.25 miles back in. But we were just talking about there's going to come a day we can't do this stuff.
Yep.
And so we're going to do it as long as we can. I didn't have a buck tag this year, but still love every second of it. There's my buck for the year. Funny enough, where Eric's buck died, it's not working very good. Where Eric's buck died, there was another deadhead chewed right down to nothing. There's the packs loaded up. I think Eric did some time lapse on the breakdown. Did a clean job, did them justice, took everything we could. Big old gnarly horn mountain buck. Look at that eye guard. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's a good character buck for sure. You know, there was another good one in here, but wasn't going to risk passing this one up on day 6 and
I'll shoot him next year.
Making Jim follow me all the way back in here tomorrow in hopes for another chance, but this is a good buck. I'm happy about it. We worked our butts off this week, so
yeah,
it's good hunting every day.
Well, it's probably going to take 2 hours to get out of here at least, so we got a lot of ups and downs. But it is what it is, so hopefully Joe, we don't have service here, so we'll let Joe know when we have service. And girls back home are thanking you guys. Thanks for letting us do this stuff. And we'll be home in another week. All right. How's that feel?
Fucking heavy.
Hey, you can't cuss, dude. We're making movies.
Oh.
You have to beep that out. Well, we've been hiking for about an hour now. I'd like to say we got the worst of it over, but we got some ups and downs still. These ridges just kind of roll. Kind of like, you know, picture an egg carton, up and down, up and down. And most of the time it's too steep to side hill, so. But we're getting there.
Got a mile and 3/4.
Yeah, 1 3/4. Another hour, steady walking. So, yeah. Night video.
Good times.
Yeah, this is the last big hurrah for us this year, and then wind down the holidays and start planning shed trips. So
It's all good once the deer goes down.
yeah,
And just enjoy it.
I don't know if you can see it or not, but big old moon over here. Try to zoom in. Yeah, just everything's pretty over here. Every sunrise, sunset, everything's just gorgeous. So, but yeah, this is what we're hiking in. Pretty dark. All right. Well, we're about 2.5 hours into the trip. Checking out. Yeah, it's been a lot of ups and downs. It's cold out. We're getting close though. I don't know, another 20-minute walk maybe. So I just wanted to check in. We'll check in at the truck. Sweat's drying on me. Hands are cold. Everything's cold, but I'm hot at the same time. Whew, let's go. Mountain Forest, baby. Well, that's a welcome sight. Back to the truck. That took us close to 3 hours packing meat. Big old buck. Heavy pack. So, yeah, it's always one of the best feelings, getting back to the truck, that's for sure. Whew. All right, guys, day 6 of our No Camp Days Mountain Forge Hunting Montana 2023 trip has come to an end. It was a good day as I predicted, but missed out on that that no questions asked shooter buck, but I think pulled off a pretty decent buck, nice character buck off the mountain today, and feels like we kind of really earned that one. So kudos to Jim for tagging along on this trip without a buck tag, and hiking around the hills and helping me quarter that thing out. So sore at almost 45, and it's not sure how many more years we got to packing deer off the mountain like that. So it took us 3 hours to get out, 4.1 miles, lots of ups and downs. So, but it was a good day. This is exactly the kind of hunt that I look forward to coming over to Montana and hunting. Got to work real hard to find these guys sometimes, and today was a good hunt. We saw lots of bucks and put a good chase on one, and another one popped up while we were doing that. So day 6, can't pass that buck up, and wasn't sure how much longer I could get these guys to follow me out in those hills. So Mountain Forge Hunting, make sure you guys subscribe, give us a like. All right, so that was day 6. It's not the video we wanted it to be, but we're still learning how to do this. We've only been taking it super serious for about a year. We just need to film more, that's it. And we need to hit the record button at those key moments. So got the kill shot on video, didn't get the debrief. We didn't do a morning intro. The weather was just, I can't even explain how brutal and windy it was. You had to lean into the wind or else it would kind of push you over off the trail. So we didn't film as much as we normally do just because of the weather. I mean, it was bad. And those of you that have hunted Montana, eastern Montana specifically, you know how the wind can get.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, this was day 6 of our trip. We're wrapping up day 7, 8, and 9 all together for a final episode coming up next week. And it'll be a good little adventure too. We try to scratch out that last antlerless doe tag that Jim's got and end up finding a bunch of great deadheads in the process. So it turned out to be a good little shed trip there towards the end. So stay tuned with us, follow along, let us wrap up camp and get home to our families. So
yeah, don't forget to subscribe. And on this whole series, if you leave a comment, you're going to get entered into a drawing to win a free t-shirt or hoodie. So we want to give back to you guys for supporting us, you know, and watching our videos. So we appreciate it.